Welcome back to our channel. Over the last 2 episodes, we have taken you to the Isle of Man with us. In the first episode, we travelled from Birmingham, UK to the Isle of Man via Liverpool with our 6 children. There were some delays and cancelled trains. The first time travelling overseas via ferry as a family, and we were so excited. The staff were friendly and helpful. The ferry was comfortable and clean. The steam packet ferry had a shop, eatery and cinema on board. We spent a lot of our time on the front deck, and the fresh sea air was just what we needed. Our family friends that invited us over greeted and drove us to our accommodation. We stayed in Glen Helen on the beautiful Glen Helen glamping site, and we all slept comfortably inside one glamping pod. The grounds were stunning. We could not wait to explore. The following morning, we took the bus and travelled to Peel for a day on the beach. We spent hours playing in the water and sand, and we spoke to locals and fellow tourists, tucked into an epic pub lunch, and had a few rounds of snooker. In the second episode, we explored the Manx National Glen. We walked in search of the stunning Glen Rennis waterfall. We took pictures and relaxed before the trek back. A lovely morning, followed by the Solomon Island Independence Day celebration in Foxdale. What a spectacular event, filled with so much culture, dance, delicious food, tradition, service, love and friendship. This celebration was the reason why we travelled over to the Isle of Man, and we are so happy that we did. The evening was complemented with a warm fire and conversation. We returned for breakfast the next morning and joined the campers, filled our tummies, enjoyed the church service, danced and then continued with our day.
I really wanted to go on the Manx electric railway, but they didn't make it in time. Yes, they did.
The Manx Railway was the first point of interest. 2 businessmen focused on constructing a large-scale housing estate and pleasure ground. Final approval was granted in 1892 with the condition that the road was to be accompanied with a tramway, animal, steam, electric or any other power. In September of 1893, the regular service was started. During this time, 20,000 passengers were carried and the Manx Electric Railway was open for business. The amalgamation of the Steam Railway and MER under the title of the Isle of Man Railway, coming shortly after 1978. Both railways were to be marketed jointly and timetables coordinated, working in turn with the amalgamated bus network. Through the years, the railway faced difficulties, changed hands and even survived post-war and part closures. We are so fortunate to have this historic service of vintage transport in our present day.
Laxey, Manx, Laxey, is a village on the east coast of the Isle of Man. Its name derives from the Old Norse Laxey, meaning salmon river.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to Laxey. The place to be. Basically go and see the big wheel. Apparently it's that way, so we're gonna go that way or in that direction. I'm not entirely sure. We will find out and go and see it. I'm feeling rain, so it might be a short trip, and then there's a possible mountain trip after that. So yep, we'll see you soon.
distinguishing features are its 3 working vintage railways and the largest working water wheel in the world. In the 19th century, lead and zinc mining began. It became the largest industry in the village, but ended in 1929. Many of Laxey's buildings were built as mining cottages in the traditional Manx style. The Manx cat is a breed of domestic cat originating on the Isle of Man with a mutation that shortens the tail. Many Manx have a small stubborn tail, but Manx cats are best known as being entirely tailless. This is the most distinguishing characteristic of the breed, along with elongated hind legs and a rounded head. Also known as Lady Isabella, was built in 1854 to pump water from the Laxey mine. Now a tourist attraction, it is claimed to be the largest working water wheel in the world. Designed by Robert Casimir, it is 72 feet 6 inches in diameter and it revolves at about 3 revolutions per minute. It's on the Manx nation with the agreement that it should be kept in perpetual running order for the people of the Isle of Man. In 1965, the Isle of Man government bought the wheel and the site restoration work began, and in 1989 it was put under the control of Manx National Heritage, a brilliant example of Victorian engineering. Today a climb to the top is rewarded with panoramic views across the Laxey Valley.
Douglas forms part of the city's harbour and main commercial port. In Douglas, there's plenty to do, from Manx museums and steam train rides to the Tinwood Library, historic walking areas and nature reserves.
Had a stroll down the Douglas seafront and promenade. We stopped for a quick chat with Norman Wisdom. We then walked to the city centre shopping area and said hi to the Bee Gees. We were pleasantly surprised to not see the usual chain high street shops. A lovely evening walking by the sea is the perfect way to end a great day and have a great night's sleep.
The lodge at Glen Helen is a very popular brunch and dinner spot. Well, the reviews speak for themselves. They're well known for their epic burgers and seasoned fries. Kyle and Fleur and all the staff are what makes the lodge so special. It's a community. So thank you, Kyle, Fleur and Ben, of course, and the rest of the team for their warm welcome to the island. And we'll definitely see you again soon. Welcome to day 4. Day 5 is this? No, day 4. Maramai. It's actually faster now. It's the afternoon. So we set out this morning, slowly checked out, went into the cafe, had a bit of breakfast, and now we are driving down to the Sound Cafe, which has been recommended. But this is the lookout. There's picnic benches, picnic tables. People call it the picnic area because you can come and have a picnic here on the hill. It's been raining this morning, but there's nothing that can stop the pure joy when you find a place like this. Nothing. It could be snowing right now. He's so happy. Port Erin. Oh, so we're off to Port Erin after this. This is just a midway point where people come and sit up on the hill and just look out. The beautiful island. And by the way, we're actually going back today. We have a ferry at 3 o'clock. So we're just taking all of this in and fitting it in, getting it done. We're on our way to Port Erin. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. I need to just take this in. We drove through this lovely tiny village of vintage houses called Crenish in Manx. Crenish is a tourist destination in the extreme southwest of the Isle of Man, about 1 mile away from Port Erin. Most of the village is now part of a living museum run by Manx National Heritage. There are also a number of private homes in the village, but their external appearance is controlled to maintain an older look. We did not get out this time to explore, but we will definitely be coming back to visit again. After many recommendations, we briefly visited the Sound Cafe and Calf of Man, Port Erin. The circular cafe offers stunning panoramic views of the Calf of Man and the surrounding countryside. They serve a selection of locally sourced foods, baked goods, all to enjoy with in or outdoor seating. And even in the heavy rain, Port Erin and the Calf of Man looked absolutely stunning. We even spotted seals. Mark and the children braved the weather and took some beautiful photos.
A brief stop at the Douglas Head before our final stop, the ferry port. It was a bit of an emotional moment as we had such a lovely time with everyone and we met so many wonderful people. How's this for timing? Before boarding the ferry, we managed to greet the super talented Isle of Man gymnastics team as they returned from the Island Games 2023. Our star girl Billy won some medals and we were all excited to welcome her and the team back home.
Good trip here?
Yeah.
Good. You excited to go on the ferry again?
Yes.
Oh,
I want to go on it now before it starts moving.
We cannot end this video without a huge thank you to Tasia, Bako, Campbell and the extended families for this invite to the Isle of Man. Also for your care, hospitality during our stay. We love you all so much. We cannot wait to join you again.
Back to where we semi-snow. started.
Back to where we started. So yeah, we're back in Liverpool, and we've crossed the ferry from Isle of Man, and yeah, feeling okay. The kids say they feel a little bit ill. Did you say that?
I'm not ill.
You don't feel too good.
It's
I'm
coming
not
off,
ill.
isn't it?
Are you fine?
It's when it docks.
Nile was really enjoyed it, didn't you? What about you, Kenzi?
I feel good.
You feel good? That's good. And Taurel, you felt a little bit ill, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's okay. Some things take getting used to, don't they?
They do, yes. I mean, I felt it on the bridge rocky bit. I think it's when it docks
Yeah.
and it's just not moving, but it's moving. So
Yeah.
apparently when the wind is forcing behind, pushing from behind, that makes a nicer crossover. If the wind is passing through
Yeah.
sides, that's what makes it uneasy. So that was actually considered a very good crossover. And
Yeah.
it was, because I didn't feel much.
Yeah, I can imagine it could be a lot worse than
Yeah.
that. So we're going to head off now and try and get our train, which is at 7:30. We've got about an hour. About an hour to basically chill, and then it's on the train again.
Help me. We want to eat nice bread, but I'm painting.
We arrived back in Birmingham around 9:30 p.m. and home around 11 p.m. For the following days after arriving home, we rested and reminisced about the experiences. We visited a place called Martineau Gardens, a few miles outside of Birmingham city centre. We of course wore our t-shirts, reliving the island vibe, and soaked up the tropical oasis. We took some photos and enjoyed live music. Thank you to our members of our Patreon community. Thanks for watching. See you next time.